Tim Richmond.
Okay, well, I can't see my notes, but I'll do fine. We've known each other a long time. So I think it's kind of appropriate that a coach introduces Rob. So along with my business, I've been coaching high school football for over 30 years. And I don't think Rob probably really needs an introduction in this room. I mean, he's a product of Long Beach, the Long Beach School District, and is very well known and very well respected in the community. But Rob had the opportunity, I think, to play for a couple of icons at Long Beach: Wilson, Skip Rowland, Cliff Meyer, John Meyer. I know they had a strong influence on him. Rob and I met in the mid-'80s when I took a coaching job at Wilson, and we've been friends ever since and kind of followed each other's careers. Before he went on to coach for another great coach, he left Wilson and went to Lakewood and worked with Spud O'Neill, who was a Hall of Fame and Century Club member. So that's just a tiny synopsis of what he did before he took on his role as commissioner of the Southern Section. And I think it's safe for me to say that I recognized, and I think a lot of people recognized, Rob's commitment to his job right from the get-go. And his mission was always the same, and is to this day. And his mission is to do whatever's best for the student athletes. That being said, maybe that sounds maybe that's obvious to some, but I mean, when you're dealing with some of the egos of many of the coaches and administrators, I'm not going to leave them out.
Okay.
And the parents. And when you're dealing with kind of this breed of our population, believe me, it's quite a balancing act. And Ron handles it always with class, and he's really admired, I think, a lot, because he's able to do his job, and stay firm in his stance, but do it with humility and be consistent. It's not a power trip for Rob, because for him it's easy. If it's good for the kids, you're not going to talk him out of it. So I think that's the greatest compliment I could pay to him after knowing him this many years. Certainly his first passion was coaching, but he took that passion and took it to the position that he's in now. And everyone that's in the Southern Section is better for it. So really on behalf of the Century Club, we're so proud that you're a member, Rob, and the Southern Section. Thank you for everything you've done for our youth. And that's Rob Wigod.
Wow. Thank you, Tim.
Now I need to talk.
I need to talk. I've known Tim a long time, and I have tremendous respect for him. I don't think, there's any coach that has been coaching as long as Tim has in the different schools that he's coached at, that he's no dumb guy. Because he coached at Long Beach Poly and was in tons of championships with them. Coached at Mater Dei, tons of championships with them. Coached at St. John Bosco, tons of championships with them. I don't think anybody's been in more championship games than Tim Richmond. And there's a common theme to that. And I have so much respect for you. We've been friends a long time, so your words really mean a lot to me. Thanks for inviting me, Mr. President, Mr. Goldberg. Kevin, I just need to say to you, I've been a member of this club a long time, and the effort that you have made, I mean, you guys have been incredible, and I just congratulate you for that. You guys, we're talking about 400 members, and we got to get to 400, and you're pushing 500, and I just really just can't say enough about what you have done for this group. Tim gave me some ideas about where I came from. I am a product of Long Beach. I'm really proud of that. I've been very proud that I am from Long Beach. I'm a product, Keith Hansen gets up and talks about middle school sports. I went to Rogers Middle School and, played middle school sports. And I went to Wilson, as was said. In fact, my entire family graduated from Wilson. Both of my parents, my older sister, myself, my wife Kelly, who's here, we're all Wilson High School graduates. And So, and Tim is right. I mean, I had the chance to work with people like Skip Rowland, who, next to my father, had the biggest impact on my life. John Meyer, people like that had the impact. Dr. Lionel Jeffrey Gatley over there, who was my 11th grade history teacher at Wilson High School. And I loved history because of Dr. Gatley, and I was a history major at Long Beach State and graduated with my history degree and taught history at Lakewood High School. So I've always credited Dr. Gatley for that because you inspired me to like something that I wanted to do, as Skip Rowland and John Meyer did. I wanted to be Skip Rowland. I was never going to be Skip Rowland, but I wanted to be him. And there's a guy, Terry Cassine, Colin Simons, Tim DeReese, some of my teammates. I already introduced you to Mark Rose, guys that I went to high school with all know what I'm talking about. I don't think anybody was closer to Skip than Terry. Just the impact that they had on guys like me and him. So, I'm proud of Long Beach. I'm proud of that. I now work for the CIF Southern Section, and I thought I'd take a few minutes just to give you a little bit of an idea, a little snapshot of who we are. We're 106 years old, our organization. There have been 9 commissioners. I'm number 9. I just found out the other day I'm the 4th longest tenured commissioner. There's 3 others that have been there longer than me, but I'm 4th. Did I have a thought for 1 second that I'd be doing this? Absolutely not. I was a below average athlete in Wilson. Was never going to go to college and play sports. I was a good student. I mean, I did that. And I missed high school sports a lot when I left. And so I got into coaching thanks to John Meyer and Skip Rowland, and that's really where it started for me. And I started coaching at Wilson as a student at Long Beach State. Left there, went to, got my degree, got my credential, went to Lakewood High. Spent 14 years at Lakewood High, teaching social studies, coaching football and baseball. I was the athletic director. Keith Hansen is the best athletic administrator I ever worked with. Tim is right, I worked with Spud O'Neill, who many of you know. No finer man. Talk about coach, but no finer man than Spud O'Neill. And I got to sit next to him for 14 years and just totally enjoyed that experience. Coaching with Mark Rose. Mark was a head football coach at Lakewood. We worked together for many years, and coaching with Mark, he taught me a lot. We had great times. A lot of you may know Mark's dad, Jack Rose. Jack Rose, a legend in Long Beach, at Long Beach State. Track is named for him. A tremendous guy that was a great influence on me. Jack Rose was a good friend and a guy that I really appreciated. So I thought I'd give you a little bit of an idea about CIF Southern Section. And then if you have some questions or anything else, I'll talk about a couple things. But we have 565 schools in our organization. There's about 1,600 in the state, and with 565 are with us. About 64% of them are public schools, about 36% are private schools. There's 275,000 student athletes that we're involved with across 24 sports for boys and girls. It's a great thing for kids to be doing. And that's the thing people say to me, well, how do you do with this and the parents and the things that you deal with? I am totally all in and believe in this is a good thing for kids to do, is to be involved in high school athletics, what we call education-based athletics. It's not the clubs and the travel ball, those things, and I don't begrudge them, that's fine. But we're the ones that are educating the total student. We want these kids to get together physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. That's what it's about for us. We're in 145 public school districts. We have 238 cities that are part of us. 61,000 square miles is our section. And wonderful to see Don Kanabe here, who has been a great friend to me, not only personally, but to the CIF Southern Section. Even had his wife working in the office a few years ago when Julie worked there. But Don Kanabe, 10 California counties are part of Southern Section. And as you all know, Don and all his work in Los Angeles County, on behalf of all of us. We have 88 leagues. So I know a lot of you are Moore League people. The Moore League is one of the 88 leagues that we have. And they happen to be the largest league by enrollment. Moore League averages about 3,900 students. Our largest school is Paramount High School, almost 5,000. Almost 5,000, yeah. Long Beach Poly's close behind at number 3 with about 4,400. And Jordan is in 5th place with about 4,000, excuse me. Our smallest school has 28 kids in it. It's called Sage Oak. 28 kids. That's it. That's it. But you know, it's out in Victorville, Hesperia. You know, there's 5,000 kids at Paramount and there's 28 kids at Sage Oak, and there's one thing they all share, is that there's a place for them. There's a sport to play. There's a game coming up. There's something going on. So, you know, we're really proud of the diversity that we have and that there's opportunities for these kids, no matter where you go. Our largest private school, you may be surprised, is Mater Dei, the evil empire. I could do a whole thing on them. Tim, I know. But see, yeah, I got you. Our farthest school is Mammoth High School, is one of ours. Our southernmost school, Avalon High School. 26 miles across the sea, 4th District. Our farthest school is west, is called Coast Union, which my good friend Mark knows about in Cambria. If you all go up there and drink wine, they're one of ours. And our furthest east is 29 Palms. If Mammoth played Avalon, it would be a 600-mile round trip. And I think it has happened, Joe. You're right, Joe Carlson. And then the last thing I'll just mention is a little bit is that the number 1 mascot. What do you might think? It's the Eagles. It is the Eagles. We have 36 schools that have Eagles as a mascot. But then we have all kinds of different ones. You know, we got some really interesting ones. But anyway, that's just a little bit about us. You know, high school sports is challenging. There's a lot going on with high school sports. There's a lot of people who want to make high school sports a business. And I think we've been trying really, really hard to try to protect kind of the fun that high school sports is supposed to be. The idea that kids can go out there and enjoy what they do, not under so much pressure and, you know, thinking about the next level and having to go to college, get a scholarship and all the rest of that. I get a lot of parents that get after me about, you know, you're ruining my son or daughter. They're not going to get a college scholarship, you know. And I say, that's not why we're here. We're not here for college scholarships. Maybe 0.5% of its 275,000 students get college scholarships. So we're not about that. We're about the young people who need to go on and become teachers and doctors and lawyers and nurses and business people and, you know, whatever it is that they decide to do. But we want the high school athletic experience to help them get there. Because the thing that happens is this. You get kids who are from different backgrounds and different races and different languages and different experiences and different socioeconomic status. But you look at a high school sports team and you see them all together and you see them setting that stuff aside and they say to themselves, you know what, we have a goal as a group, we have a goal as a team, we're going to try to do this as a group, and we have to do it together because you can't, you know, no sport can be done by yourself. And you set that stuff aside and then you go out there and you try to do it. And so I always say to people, when you want to see what everyone is talking about in the United States of America and getting people together, and how can we do that now because everyone's divided and getting after each other and can't get along, I always say look at a high school sports team. Because you're going to see it. And you're going to see kids who get together, who forget about their color, who forget about their religion, who forget about their race, forget about their language, forget about somebody maybe in a nicer house than somebody else. And they're going to go out there together and they're going to try to put this thing as a group and achieve the goal that they set. And that's inspiring to me. That motivates me. And I love watching kids do this. So last weekend, you know, was a great example. You know, my job last weekend was to go to, and it was my job, you know, and I, you know, Shar and her husband Mike, both love you guys. You know, I'm hanging out with Shar's husband Mike at the Masters track and field meet, and I'm like, this is my job. Watching these kids, are you kidding me? You know, and then I was actually in Riverside in the morning to watch some baseball at UC Riverside, and I went to the track meet, and then I ended up at Dodger Stadium watching our baseball championships at Dodger Stadium. eating Dodger dogs and sitting where Tommy Lasorda sits all the time.